Welcome back, everybody, to Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mike.
Mike, we have another super fan. As you know from last time, we said we're going to do Conan the Barbarian, and our super fan here is Alex. This is the artist, Mike, behind Gonzo Illustrations on Instagram. So he's on a few other things too. But so Alex, introduce yourself and tell us, how in the hell did you become a super fan of Conan the Barbarian?
All right, so I'm Alex Gonzalez. I'm an artist. I currently attend Shippensburg University, and I'm working to become a art educator. And I've always been interested in uh, like very aesthetic, medieval, and fantastical worlds and stuff. And the way I got introduced to Conan was through you,
Yeah.
and probably I was far too young to be introduced to it, maybe. But it was always on TV really late at night. So when I was a kid, and like I would start staying up really late for like the first times, like past 12 o'clock or something, they'd play Conan on this channel called IFC, and it
There
would
you
be
go.
uncensored. It
Yeah.
was like the only
Good.
channel that showed like everything, no censoring of any language, and it was just raw. And I would record it sometimes just to like rewatch it like for weekends at a time.
Uh, all things that I didn't know about. Obviously, you could tell Michael that he's a Gonzo at Gonzo Illustrations, and I'm a Gonzo. So Alex and I are related, and I guess I was a bad father for letting him do that. What do you think about that, Mike?
Oh, wow. I have seen some of your work, Alex. It's fantastic.
So,
Thank you.
so tell us a little bit about Gonzo Illustrations. What are we looking forward to see in the future here? I know you're going to be an art educator, but for people who are going to click on there and follow that, what are they going to? What can they expect in the near future, man?
So I'm just trying to grow my Instagram at the moment by posting process videos of my artwork, learning how to record that while I draw because it's a real pain in the butt to like have a camera right in front of my face,
Yeah.
filming the paper and trying to draw through that. So that's interesting. And I'm trying to make just more bold and more visually interesting artworks with maybe different things that I haven't drawn yet.
Okay. Okay. So what was I going to say? So yeah, anyone when we at the end of this podcast, when we sign off here, I'm going to put the music on a little extra long, and I'm going to show some of Alex's art so you can be enticed to get on there and follow him. So all right, we're glad to have you here with us today, Alex. So is everyone's cell phone silenced? We're going to get started here. I got to make sure I got mine silenced.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so good. So in this episode, we're looking at 1982 fantasy film. This is directed by John Milius from a screenplay co-wrote with Oliver Stone. That's a big one, Mike. So, and this is based on Robert E. Howard's Conan character and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Earl Jones. I don't have the deep voice to do that one, Mike. This is Conan the Barbarian. If you mention Conan the Destroyer here, Mike, I'm gonna be upset. So don't. It's terrible. So this film grossed 79.1 million at the box office. The budget was 20 million. This is really what earned Schwarzenegger worldwide recognition. If people didn't know him from bodybuilding, they knew him after this. This thing has been frequently re-released on home video and on streaming, and now the film's gross. Last time they really calculated it in 2007, so that's a while back. It grossed more than 300 million with all that, so it's just continues to make money. It had completely mixed reviews. People either loved it or hated it. There was no one who was like, "Oh, it's okay." Everyone was like, "It's either it sucks or not." So at the 10th Saturn Awards, this was nominated for Best Fantasy Film, Best Costumes, and Best Makeup. Now, Sandal Bergman, this is who played Valeria. She won Best Actress for her performance at the 10th Saturn Awards. And she also won the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year at the 40th Golden Globe Awards. So she did really well here. Schwarzenegger, however, was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actor, the third Golden Raspberry Awards, and which I don't agree with. I think that's crazy. This thing was 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's crazy too.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead for those people who haven't seen it back since 1982 or in a while, or didn't stay up late like Alex and record it without his parents knowing about it. So for those people or for those people who've never seen it, Mike, tell us what the plot of this movie is. Alex is a super fan, but we're not going to make him do extra work. Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
Yeah. So when we start the movie, we're looking at young Conan growing up in Samaria, I believe it's pronounced, where his father teaches him the riddle of steel, which is you can't trust people, but you can trust your sword, or at least the steel made from it. So obviously, this is a man who's been in some bad relationships. His philosophy gets tested pretty quickly when we see cult leader Thulsa Doom, played by Darth Vader himself, James Earl Jones, like you mentioned, Steve. He destroys Conan's village, murders his parents, and even sells the surviving children into slavery. So, and some people today say we're living in the worst times possible. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Conan spends years pushing the wheel of pain, which apparently that's all you have to do to end up looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger, because that's what we see next. He becomes a gladiator and is eventually set free in the middle of one night.
Yep.
So, in his journeys and his adventures, he finds an ancient sword. He teams up with thief and archer Subutai, played by Gary Lopez. And in Zamora, we meet Valeria, played by Sandal Bergman. So the three rob Doom's Tower of Serpents, kill a giant snake, steal the treasure. Conan and Valeria fall for each other because even in a Conan movie, we have to have a love interest,
Of
apparently.
course. Of course.
We meet King Osric, who offers the three a fortune to rescue his daughter from Doom's cult. Anybody seen this? It sort of reminds you of a medieval gigantic Manson family.
Yep. Yep.
So Conan wants revenge anyway, so he goes after Doom alone, gets captured, tortured, and crucified on the Tree of Woe, which I think is a fantastic name for any tree. Subutai and Valeria rescue him, and Akiro the wizard, Mako, who we meet. And also, I should have said, this is also who's narrating this entire
Yep.
story. He brings Conan back from the brink of death, but warns that there will be a price to pay for that. So the three return, rescue the princess, but Doom kills Valeria. I guess that's the price they had to pay with a magical snake arrow. And if you know, you know. Now Conan is officially done screwing around. He, Subutai, and Akiro wipe out Doom's warriors at the Battle of the Mounds. Conan returns to Doom's temple for the final confrontation, where Doom tries to hypnotize him. Conan resists, and then he cuts Doom's head off. The cult collapses, the princess is saved, the temple burns, and we're told that Conan will eventually fulfill his destiny and become a king. So, in a nutshell, that is Conan the Barbarian. I know I left out a great, well, let's say, love scene with the witch, but there's a lot going on. I'm sure we'll get into it.
All right. All right. Alex, anything to add to that, man?
No, I don't think so. We'll get into the details later, I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay. Okay. Pretty good, Michael. As usual, you're getting good at that. Excellent. Excellent. So first take, Alex, like when you first saw it, when you like, how old would you say you were when you saw it?
I don't know. I was like, I might have been a kid, like an actual kid in elementary school, like maybe fifth grade.
Okay.
Definitely, I mean, you would like skip through any bad parts when I was a kid, but for most part, the battles or whatever, you were like, whatever. You've seen Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, and
Yeah.
people get their limbs chopped off in those movies, so it should be fine. And it was. And my
Yeah.
first take, I just thought it was so much different than like your typical fantasy movie that I would have seen at that age, like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, which are very very moral, very wholesome by the end of it, even if they are violent. Like Lord of the Rings is more violent than Harry Potter, obviously, but Conan is just so brutal. And I hadn't seen anything like that at that age. You know, you don't watch many movies growing up. So
Yeah, yeah, bad father, I'll admit. So, um, Mike, had you seen this before? You watched it to prep for this thing, man.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, Alex said that you skipped over all the bad parts, but we know how that works. Dad and mom leave the house and he goes back and watches them later.
Sure, sure.
I've been there. Uh, I would have bet money I'd seen this movie before. Uh, Apparently what had happened, I think I was in the trailer court with all my buddies and we must have had some beer. I remembered the first 15 minutes. I have not seen anything after the first 15 minutes. So everything beyond that, this was my first time watching it.
Wow, I
Yeah.
can't believe that, man. That's
I
crazy.
remember him pushing the what was it, the wheel of pain.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember that. I
Is
remember
that
those 15 minutes.
is
Yeah.
that thing grinding corn or something, or
I don't know if it's just if
just
they
there
just
to
make
cause?
him do something as torture or if it actually has a purpose. Do you know, Alex?
I'd assume it's for like, grinding up wheat or corn or whatever the hell crops, because they're just like bodies at that point. It's not, they
Yeah.
don't care if it's kids, women, men, whoever's doing the work. It just has to get
Sure.
done to feed people.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So, yeah, I saw this movie in the theater with my dad. So I would have been like, I'm doing the math, 1982. I'm like in middle school. They called it junior high back then. Our junior high was seventh, eighth, and ninth. So I would have been in ninth grade. And I'm going to tell you, my father, which is Alex's grandfather, Alex knows him. You can only imagine how uncomfortable it was for my father during the witch scene, sitting next to his young
Oh,
son.
Yeah.
that was fantastic.
So and the witch scene is a good scene if you're in ninth grade. You're like, I'm all about this scene. So
That's right.
so Mike, your first take then, you basically watch it. What did you watch it last night?
Was it last night? Night before last.
Okay, so what was your first take then to see it the whole way through?
Uh, Overall, I liked it. But I'll talk about it a little later because I know we got a lot of things we want to get into, but there was one scene in particular that took me out of the movie, and I'm glad that it moved back to where it was going because, and I think that happened maybe an hour into the movie, and I thought, what are we doing? But
Yes.
it ended up good.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I remember thinking it was epic. I was in like ninth grade. It immediately made me an Arnold fan. Like I'm an Arnold fan to this day. This was the first exposure. Like I had not even seen Pumping Iron by then, which obviously I've seen since then, which was the documentary, right? But immediately Arnold fan from this, even though Arnold did do some terrible movies,
Mm.
Conan the Destroyer being one of them,
Mm.
Twins being another one, and Kindergarten Cop, in my opinion, being another one. So it was really,
What?
really bad. Kindergarten Cop is terrible, bro.
Those movies are just fun little movies, though. They're not like
Oh
trying
yeah,
to be that
I
great.
agree with Alex. Kindergarten
Yeah.
Cop was funny.
No, come
Yeah.
on, man. We're talking Predator, Terminator, right? So let's talk about the main characters. We'll start with Arnold, um, who plays Conan. Mike, how did he do here, man? How do you like him for this?
It's almost impossible if you like this movie at all. It's impossible to say anything negative about Arnold in this because a lot of movies, they're picking actors after they've thought of a movie, after they've thought, what's the story going to be like? Who can we get to play it? I want to say, and Alex probably knows much more about this than either one of us. I want to say they saw Arnold and they said, let's build a movie around him. I know that Conan was already a thing. I know it was a comic book and graphic novels and things, uh, but he played it perfectly in terms of everything was about his physical presence. And the weakest parts of the movie for me was when he started talking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, all right, good, good, good. Alex, how do you like Arnold? And do you think anyone else could have done it?
I mean, at the time in the 80s, I don't know of any actors. You guys might, like some big, large people who might be able to pull that off. But the thing what's interesting about Conan and Arnold is that Arnold's English was terrible
Mhm.
when he was doing this movie. And in Pumping Iron, he's speaking good English. So I don't I
Yeah.
don't think it was too bad. I just think people in Hollywood were probably just so turned off by it.
Mhm.
But uh, who directed this movie again? I forget his name off the top of my head.
John Milius.
John Milius, right? He like, I think he really liked it. He was like, no, this is like this foreign land, this person with this accent. And in the books, like the comics, I mean, you could ask your brother because he's also a huge Conan nerd. Like he's actually a really smart guy, Conan, and he's a great war tactician, and he's a philosopher, and he reads poetry. He's really smart, and he's also really strong. So they can't do that with Arnold. So they literally were like, well, we'll just make him not talk. It'll be kind of like Rambo, man of few words, right? Where he's just staring out, and that's what you'll have to work with is his, like, yeah, his physical presence. Like he's smart because he planned like the Battle of the Mountains. He planned that whole thing out
Mhm.
Yep.
just by himself with Subutai. He lured all those guys in. He knew the fire was going to attract them. I mean, the only time he makes a mistake is when he just goes in by himself and he's just
Yeah.
outmatched.
Yeah, yeah, and there's too many people, right? So he was over his head in that one. So yeah, nobody else could have done it. Great work for his first real movie. He was in a couple of movies before this, one of them being like a Hercules movie, which was like Hercules in the City, which was complete trash.
Yes.
Um, but
Yeah.
obviously love him in Predator, love him in Terminator.
Mhm.
And Pumping Iron it was great. You get to know him, and like I've said when we did Predator, um, Mike, the I think it's on Netflix, the Arnold little mini series that he talks about, like you to learn about Arnold. That's
Oh, that's
great.
really good.
It's great, and he tells you all about himself, and there's like he never gives up. People were like, no way. He's like, I
Mhm.
want to be a big movie star, and they're like, never going to happen with a voice like yours. Never, forget it. And he's just like, no, it's going to happen. And he made it happen. So,
Yeah.
something to be said about that. So, all right, let's move on to Subotai. Jerry Lopez plays this. Alex, what did you think about this guy? And have you seen him in any other movies or anything?
Unfortunately, no, I haven't. And like as a kid, I always liked Subutai because he's like he's like definitely more relatable like character archetype where he's just a bro out in the wilderness. He's got a bow, maybe a short sword,
Mhm.
doesn't really like have this huge like body like Conan, so he's not just so physically imposing, but he's still just making his due. And he literally befriends Conan in like 2 seconds, makes fun of his religion, and and then they're just off on a trip. I'm like, yeah, this dynamic works. Like they're just two guys out in the wilderness, and they just become friends and work together, and they're also loyal together. And
Mhm.
the guy who plays him, I don't know, I thought did a good job. He doesn't say much either in the movie, and I haven't seen him in any other movies, but yeah, I really do like Subutai.
All right, very good. Michael, what do you got on Subotai?
Yeah, wasn't he a professional surfer? I think
I'm I'm
I
not
read.
sure. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so he wasn't even an actor. So, like Alex said, I think he did a great job for the role, and I think he gave the movie a lot more depth than it could have had because it was great him playing against Arnold because you needed that. Arnold was fun to watch. He was exciting. He was physical, but you got to have more to that. You got to care about the characters. And what wasn't Subutai the one that said toward the end? He said, "I cry because he won't."
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. When
Yeah,
when at Valeria's funeral pyre or whatever they're going to call that. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, he does great. He's a great guy for the role.
Hmm.
What strikes me is he got caught up by that witch and was chained to the wall.
Hmm.
That's where Arnold found him. He's I haven't eaten for days. Arnold says, "Who says you will?"
Yeah.
Like so, Arnold. Her plan was to have Arnold tied up against that wall next to Subotai, have another little pet prisoner or whatever. That was her
Mhm.
plan till Arnold threw her into the fire. So, but what are these guys? These guys, I want to mention this. Did anyone notice, or is anyone taking notice that these guys are like ultra marathoners?
Yeah.
Like Subotai is like, hey, I can just run. And then I'm like, well, Arnold's gonna fall behind because there's
Mhm.
no way he can run. He's just been walking on the wheel of pain, but
Right.
Arnold keeps up with him. So yeah, well done. I've never seen him in any other thing. That's a pretty deep cut, Mike. If he was a professional surfer, I
Yeah.
did not see that. So Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Valeria
And
played. Go
I
ahead.
like too the way like Alex was talking about when they were talking about their two religions. I thought that was probably one of the funnier parts of the movie where Conan worships Crom and then Subutai is like, well, my God is above your God because he's the God of the winds. And I was waiting for Arnold to come up. Well, I also worship this God who controls the winds. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think Arnold sort of got this like, oh, like there's more in life than just what my parents taught me, right? That was a pretty
Mhm.
teachable moment for him to be like, wow, this is a big wide world because he's been just trapped and on the run his whole
Yeah.
life. And just knew that. So another thing, another little deep cut I'll mention here is I was reading Subutai. They took that name. That's one of Genghis Khan's like generals or something. So
Yeah.
they
Oh,
used a
okay.
name from there. So and even though that's like Jerry Lopez, that is like a Hispanic sort of sounding name.
Hmm.
He does pull off the look of a Mongolian type of warrior, sort of, right?
Sure.
Um, so, all right, let's move on to Valeria. This is Queen of the Thieves by Sandal Bergman, played by her, and she won that award. We said the Saturn Awards. What? How do you think she did here, Mike? And what else has she been in, man?
I don't know if I'm trying to think if I've seen her in anything else. She had the most familiar face, but I know she was supposed to have been in Red Sonja, Hell Comes to Frogtown, and all that jazz. I haven't seen any of those movies, so I don't know where I've seen her unless she was on television, way back in the 70s and 80s. Um, I love the way they made her a strong character because if she had just been a love interest, it would have really fell flat for me. The thing I didn't like, and this is probably fans of this movie probably love this part, but after she gets killed, and then she comes back in that split second as what do you call them? A Valkyrie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
when
yep.
she comes back as a Valkyrie in just that split second and saves Conan, I was like, okay, that was a little bit weird for me, just out of
Okay,
nowhere. But
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you. I agree a little bit. Alex, how did you like Valeria?
I really liked her. She's really like she again compliments Conan and Subutai very much because they're pretty daring, but they don't really know what's going on. I feel
Mhm.
like because when she's about to go into the temple, like or the tower, she's like, "What are you guys doing here?" Basically, that's the energy. It's like you
Mhm.
guys are gonna get killed. Like you don't know what the hell you're doing. Like, and she's like, "Do you even know what's beyond that wall?" And Conan's like, "No." And it's
Mhm.
like, "All right, you first. Like, go for
Yeah.
it." And also to what was I gonna say? To go back to what Mike was talking about with the Valkyrie scene, she did say, I think right after he woke up from his near death experience, she told him like if you were fighting, I would come back
Yep, yep.
and and fight beside you. And also it has something to do with uh Crum, their god, which is actually based off some Irish god of war named Crum. And
Okay.
the god is very much a don't even pray to me. I don't want you asking for handouts. I just
Mhm.
want you to go into battle and die and
Oh,
be a barbarian.
I'm
So
not seeing the upside.
yeah, no. It's like it's very much like it's like the Conan mindset, like live your life, slay, love, be content,
Hmm.
do whatever you want. It's your world. And don't ask for handouts because I won't give them. But when she's like, I will fight for you even in death, it's
Yeah.
actually supposed to be like him sending her back just for a quick like save because he says to Crom, if you won't help
Mhm.
me, to hell with you. And so
Yeah.
Mm,
Crom is like, okay, okay, fine. I
Hmm.
get that. And I will help you because you're being such a hard ass right now. Like it's
Sure.
gonna be
yeah.
easy.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a connection I never even really made that Crom sent her because
Yeah.
okay, very good, very good. I
Yeah.
like it.
That's interesting.
I thought she was perfect for the role because she pulled off the tough girl role. She's not getting pushed around. Like you said, Mike, if she's just like all pretty and petite and
Hmm.
soft, like what is she
Yeah.
even? She wouldn't be hanging with these guys. She can not only hang with them, she could lead these guys.
Hmm.
She's tough. And I actually thought when I first saw the movie, I said this must be like a woman bodybuilder who's really in shape because she's really fit. But then you mentioned like All That Jazz.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and her main profession, she got into acting through being a dancer. So
Okay.
someone saw her, I think, in All That Jazz, and was like, "Hey, this lady is a powerhouse, man. She could maybe fit this role." So I think it's too bad she had to die. I would have loved for her to live through it, but I guess they had to say someone's got to go, right? But
Mm.
I think she did great. I think she should have been in a lot of other roles. I've never seen her in another role, but I agree that she just has a charisma, that she got that award, that Saturn Award, and then the Best New Actress Award from the Golden Globes. Like that's like I agree with them. She's got a charisma, and you like to watch her on a screen. I mean, she really did a great job. We're going to move on to some of the bad guys here. There's a lot of bad guys with helmets and with masks who get killed in this, but there's really three main bad guys. We'll start with Thulsa Doom, played by James Earl Jones, with that deep voice. I actually looked up, Mike. I thought it was James Earl Jones who sang the song "The Grinch." That really deep voice, but it's not him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was him. It's not him. It sounds just like him though. So how did you like James Earl Jones in this? This is a surprising role for me to put him in there.
Yeah. I think besides Arnold, he was the smartest casting choice. You need somebody strong. If you have a throwaway bad guy, nobody's going to care about the movie. So his voice makes anything interesting. I'd probably listen to an audiobook of him just reading the dictionary. Like he can make anything sound so. He could do a cornflakes commercial and have me think they're the most important thing in life. So we've got a medieval Darth Vader. The character was a cult leader. So that's essentially what he was. I love that part where he was telling Conan, he said, what was it? Like steel is not stronger, flesh is stronger. And then he
Yep.
calls the girl to jump off the ledge.
Yep.
So he was just like a Jim Jones, Charles Manson, Bob Ross kind of cult leader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
he was a great character. That was my favorite character other than Conan.
all right. All right. Very good, Alex. How do you think James Earl Jones did here?
Thought it was really good. I mean, like as a kid, it's weird when you're a kid and you watch these movies, you don't put together that they're like he would be Darth Vader because obviously he's not in the suit, but the voice is unforgettable, and he's he was Mufasa too in Lion King. It's just like the voice he's got is it's like Conan's body. It's like you are like you are your body, you are your voice, and
Mhm.
but he also does a great job being another silent character when he's trying to hypnotize people. When he hypnotizes the mom in the beginning, it's like, and they do a little bit with the editing, the background's like unfocused, blurred a little bit, and his eyes are like really like clear, so you get to see kind of what she's looking at,
Yeah.
and the way he takes her out, and then just like looks at Conan and backs away. He's just like whatever, see ya,
Hmm.
and maybe later, and then like yeah, like he's just so the character itself is so like carefree, but also just evil. Like he's just trying to set I don't know like how to describe it really. He's just trying to set things his way, and
Hmm.
everything else is to be damned with. Like he just and with Conan too, he's like this guy is so nothing to me. Like, oh, I probably killed your family back when I was young, looking for steel, whatever. Crucify him, get rid of him. But to Conan, that's like everything. That's like I'm losing. I'm gonna die right now. And I
Yeah.
thought James Earl Jones, similar to any movies in, just did amazing in it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Surprisingly to me, he works here. I would not think if you're describing to me,
Hmm.
and I know this movie came much later, but you're like, hey, we need this guy who's going to be an evil cult leader who's going to destroy villages and make girls jump off cliffs to their death just to prove
Right.
a point. And let's get the fat guy from Field of Dreams, right? You just wouldn't think
The
that.
dad from Coming to America.
Yeah, exactly. Like you wouldn't think this is gonna, but it does. He pulls it off. Even though
Oh yeah.
I hate his hair, the wig, I
Oh
hate
yeah.
it. But you believe with his eyes. I'm sure. Is he's wearing contacts or something? Yeah,
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
I
know
didn't
because
I didn't actually even check if he had like colored eyes ever. I know when he's transforming into the snake, he's got the,
oh yeah,
the cut iris or
yeah,
whatever he
yeah,
pulled.
yeah. Which that's going to be Mike's part that he hates. I'm quite sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
so so listen, yeah, but you believe he's got powers to control these people. I felt like I saw some blue contacts in there at some point. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I didn't look it up, but
Yeah,
yeah,
because his eyes look hazy.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, Darth Vader's voice, obviously, Mufasa from Lion King and Field of Dreams is what I know him. But mainly, when I think of James Earl Jones, I'm thinking Darth Vader. But he did a great job here. I want to talk about his second in command. Ben Davidson plays Rexor. Alex, have you seen him in anything else? And how do you think he did? He's a big dude.
I haven't seen him in anything else, and he's one of those people from before my time. So any other uh accomplishments he's done outside of acting, I haven't heard about, and probably like it's just in the past for me. But it's really cool to see him like what did you say he was in the NFL?
Yeah, he was, and I got my notes here. He was in the Green Bay Packers. He was in the Washington Redskins. He was on the Oakland Raiders. That's where I knew him from in the late '70s. He's a defensive end, Pro Bowl. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's a big dude. He was scary on the field. So
Yeah, so in the movie it's great that they do this in the second one too, but we're not going to talk about the second one.
Wilt Chamberlain is who you're referring to.
But with Rexor, it's like he's such a large human, like, and with Thorgrim, it's pretty genius of them to cast villains that are just way bigger than Conan.
Yeah,
Because now it's like, oh, Conan's not just gonna kill everyone, and it's gonna be easy, and he's gonna get out. It's like, no, he's got like you're not the biggest fish in the sea. There's other warriors in this world who have been there, done that, and are still alive, and they're gonna kill you. And to see Conan have to fight both of those guys, it's like it really puts him to the test.
yeah,
Yeah. And to your point, Alex, that's what they did in Predator too. They made sure that it wasn't just Arnold and the muscles. They made the Predator so much bigger and stronger than
Yeah.
Arnold.
yeah. So have you seen Ben Davidson in anything else, Mike?
I've absolutely seen him before, but he's always like the backdrop of shows because I looked at what he had done before. He was in Necessary Roughness, which I've
Okay.
absolutely seen. He was in MASH, Chips, Dukes of Hazzard, Happy Days. And I don't want to get the two confused. He was the one with the mustache, right?
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
big.
So
Yep.
to me, he looked like the lead singer from Motorhead.
Okay. Okay. God,
That's
what's
what
his name?
popped out at me.
I can't think of his name, but yeah, with that hair, but that's not Ben Davidson's real hair. But yeah, he's huge. I really remember him as the Oakland Raiders. He was a nasty guy when they went with John Madden was their coach back
Yeah.
then when he took them to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure Ben Davidson was on that team. Um, so I've never really seen. I know he did some TV stuff and everything, but I don't know of any other big movies. So let's move on to Thorgrim, and this is the guy with the big hammer. For anyone who doesn't know, and I want to point out Thor is in his name, his character's name here, Thorgrim, and
Yeah.
his actual name is Sven Ole Thorsen, and he is a Danish actor and stuntman. So he's a pretty big dude. I would have bet that he was a bodybuilder from seeing this movie. How'd you
Yeah.
like him in this, Mike?
Yeah, like you said, it was on the nose casting. The name Thor is in his name. It's in his character's name. He's using the big hammer. So yeah, I think he was good. Like Alex mentioned, you need the two gigantic guys because James Earl Jones, his character has the brains, the charisma. He's got the muscle back in him. I know Thor was also in The Running Man, Red Heat, Twins, Predator. So he and Arnold must be like really close.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, Alex, how did you like him? And is that hammer too big or what? Let me know, man. Come on.
The hammer is definitely too big. No one could wield that thing safely. That thing would be like 150 pounds of solid wood. Just like you can't swing that. You'd tear all of your ligaments up in your shoulders and elbows.
Is that any different than Jesse the Body Ventura carrying a minigun
Oh,
in Predator? That thing, same thing though, right?
I
An
don't know. That's something
outrageous weapon.
you guys tell me if that's possible. I've
No,
never
no
been
way.
near ordnance like that.
It's not. We discussed it on the Predator episode. It's definitely not possible. Just the gun and the ammo itself would be like 150 pounds. And they actually used a wiring system we talked about to help Jesse hold it up in his scenes because it was just way too big. But all right, yeah, he does good, man. I mean, his facial expression when he knocks down the pole, the column with the hammer, like he's like, and he looks at the hammer, he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
holy,
yeah.
like he's got some good expressions. This dude is big, he's tough. I think he fits it perfectly. And I could have sworn this is going to be a bodybuilder from Venice Beach, Muscle Beach in Venice with Arnold there, but just a stunt man. I don't know. So what are those movies he's been in again, Mike?
It was so many of the big or not Conan, Arnold movies. It was The Running Man, Red Heat.
Okay, Running Man. He was one of the bad guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually think I
Predator.
recognize it maybe.
And then Twins.
Oh my God.
I know you don't like Twins. I have never seen Twins, so I can't say
Twins
whether
is
it's good or not.
Don't see it. It's trash.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not that bad.
Twins is trash.
No,
All right. All right. It's trash. It's trash. Okay. Got some other characters here we're going to go through. And Akiro. This is the wizard played by Mako. How do you like him here, Mike?
Oh, I love this dude. I know I've seen him in a bunch of other things. He's always a secondary character. I love his voice, so I'm glad he was the narrator. I've got to show a little bit of love to Conan the Destroyer because I have some nostalgia for this. When I grew up, we lived in our house. We had a neighbor. We lived right on the edge of town, so it was not cost effective for them to bring cable to us. So we had to go out and get one of the satellite dishes.
Okay.
And Steve, you probably remember the satellite dish I'm talking about is not one of these little baby direct TVs, Dish Network. This thing's like the size of a Volkswagen that you had in your front or your backyard. And so when we got those, and I was like 11 or 12, we got that dish and I was able to pull up all these HBO movies. So since I did not have, broad context, I hadn't seen a lot of movies. Conan the Destroyer was running then, and I probably saw that 8, 9, 10 times. So the reason I bring that up is because Mako, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. He was in the second movie. Now you all know that. I did not know he was in the first movie until I saw it. So that's why I bring that up. But I really, being 11, 12-year-old, I really enjoyed Conan the Destroyer. If I watched it now, who knows?
Yeah, I would bet you wouldn't like it, but we'll see. So, Alex, how do you like Mako here?
I mean, he's like easily one of the best characters. Instantly, when he starts talking, you're like, it's just funny. And Conan makes fun of him. He's like, "Do you summon demons, wizard?" And he's like, "Yes." He just freaks out. And Arnold just starts laughing at him. He's like, "Whatever." And then it's like people act so weird in this movie, or I guess in the world, like strangers. As long as someone's not trying to kill you, you can just befriend them because they just become pals instantly.
Yeah.
And I thought Mako, I like the actor. He's actually there was this cartoon that ran on Nickelodeon called The Last Airbender.
Yep, yep.
And he was this character, a really old, wise character, and almost like a Yoda figure, and he did really good in that. And he actually passed away filming that, so they had to replace him.
Oh,
But yeah, the actor's great.
yeah.
He's like legendary now. And yeah, the wizard's really cool too. And I like that he actually gets some fighting in the final battle. It's just funny to me. Comic relief.
Yeah, he sticks a guy in the back, right, with a spear or something. And then but
and he can't get up.
Yeah, exactly. Can't get up with the armor on. So I think he's perfect for this role. He's funny, like when he can't get up in some of the ways, that he conjures these things. Some of the magic he's doing, it almost scares him. right? And then he's going to hiding in his hut. He's like, "Oh my god, it went too far." I'm like, and you're like, "No, you got to get out here, bro, because you're the one who called these things up."
Yeah.
But so he's funny, but not too funny. It's not, and he doesn't become corny, right? So
Yeah.
if you get something funny and then they become too funny and it's corny, it's like, it's like a Jar Jar Binks thing. You hate it, right? But this guy does it just enough. He's had tons of roles through the years. He did do that last Airbender. What sticks out to me is the Sand Pebbles, which is a great movie with who's that? Steve McQueen in that, right? That's a great movie. And he's in that and when he's very, very young. So he does a great job. And he's perfect for the role. I love his narration too, because his voice is just cool. All right, we're going to talk. This is a small part, but we're going to talk about it. The Witch. This is played by Cassandra Gava. How did you like her? And you got to give her some credit here, her character, Alex, because she captured Subotai.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like? She's almost the way they use her with, she just is like luring people in, trying to seduce them and capture them. I've always wondered this, if she was trying to like take like Conan's life in there, because she turns like into like almost a vampire looking creature with her teeth are all sharpened up.
Yeah.
And there's always that archetype, like, oh, the kid goes in the woods, like with the movie The Witch, where this kid goes in the woods and he's lost, and then suddenly there's this beautiful lady and she like invites him in and then just kills him or whatever. And it's pretty similar. But also she says something about like prophecy, like she's like talking to Conan, like, they said you'd come down from the north, a
Yeah.
man of great strength, and he's just like, what? Like, I just freed myself. I don't know what you're talking about. And then yeah, the rest happens.
Yeah. So, Mike, how did you like her, Cassandra Gava?
Yeah, if I had seen this whole movie when I was 12 years old, she may have been my favorite character. So no,
Yeah.
she was good. I like the special effects. I love vampire movies, and I think Alex was right when I saw what she was doing. That's what I thought of. I thought of her like a vampire. Um, I hadn't seen her in anything else that I could point and say that's her, but apparently she was in Night Shift.
Really?
Oh,
So
really?
I assume she was playing one of the prostitutes
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
can't think of what other character she would have been in that.
Yeah. No, no, she has to be. That's interesting. All right. Yeah. I thought, man, she fits the bill. This chick is oh, there I go using that word chick again, Mike. I think
Oh
there.
my
People
goodness.
don't say that anymore. Do they say that
I'm
anymore,
gonna have
Alex?
to disconnect.
Yeah, they say that, I guess.
So yeah, she's she's good looking. She's believable as a seductress. And good for this small role. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to know the backstory. Like, what is she doing? What was going to happen to Subotai? Right? Is she going to eat him? Is she going to turn him to some vampire thing, or who knows? Right? But she does good. I've never seen her in anything else, but that is interesting. She had to be one of the prostitutes if she was in Night Shift. So we're going to go to a very small part, but important. Conan's mother, played by Nadiuska, and this is a Spanish actress who is famous in Spain. Like, they've done documentaries about her impact in Spain's own little like sort of Hollywood world where they create movies. So, how did you like her, Mike?
I mean, she was good. She was a strong character for the very little time she was on screen. And you and I have talked about this before. Sometimes somebody doesn't have to be on screen a long time to make a really big impact. Because when we think about Conan and the way he grew up and his goals, she was a big part of that. She was his motivation because they
Yeah,
killed his mother. So
yeah,
she was good for what she did.
yeah, yeah. Alex, how did you like her?
Yeah, I liked her a lot, and especially the intro, the greatest intro of all time, where they're building the sword, and
Yeah,
she's there with little Conan, and she's like wrapping the leather tight around the handle. She's
Mhm.
part of the process. And then when she's, oh man, what happened? Oh, she was like running around looking for either, I can't tell if she yelled out Conan or Corin,
yeah,
because that's Conan's father's name. But she finds, I'm assuming it was Conan, because she found him, And then they like show her, she's got her own little sword. Um, and it's got blood on it. So she, in the background, must have slain a few people to
Mhm.
protect Conan. And I thought that was really cool. I always liked that detail. And she, of course, was just gonna like take a swing at Thulsa Doom until he like stopped her.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's like Conan's dad had at one point be like, "Stop! Like she's getting ready. Like let's just get in this fight. Let's get the gear." And he's like, "No, no! Like you got to go get our son." Like that's how I took it. Like because she was just ready. Let's get in a battle. I'm going to do this. So tough lady. Um, Important role because yeah, that was Conan's motivation. His father and his mother getting killed by Thulsa Doom. To Thulsa, like you said earlier, um, Alex, nothing, just nothing, whatever, big deal. Oh, I might have done that when I was younger. To Conan, he's like, oh, I'm getting him back. That doesn't go. That's not going to happen without some payback, right? Um, so on a down note on Nadiuska, she currently is suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and has been for several years in treatment and in a place for treatment. So, but I mean, literally, they made her for her acting she's done in Spain. They did documentary. It was called like something like like the like the name they called it is like she's like epic. She's like everybody in Spain is like, oh, she's the best, right? So she's had a really good career. So this last person we're going to talk about here, Conan's father, played by, now this is a normal name, William Smith.
Will Smith. I
Will
And
didn't know he
Smith,
was in
yeah.
this.
yeah, and I wanted to let you know how how you think he did, and don't look at my notes. I've got some notes here. Neither of you look at my notes. Just tell me, how do you like Conan's father, Alex?
I thought it was really cool. Very, very I don't want to say superstitious, but definitely has his beliefs on how the world works,
Yep.
telling Conan about the riddle of steel and the stories of these giants, and him being a blacksmith or a
Hmm.
swordsmith back, God knows when this world takes place. It's the world. It's interesting because he's a blacksmith in this world, and it's supposed to be like pre Bronze Age or pre Ice Age. Some like it's fiction, so it's fantasy. They can place it wherever they want, but it's supposed to be like the ancient cities before Babylon, before Egypt and the pyramids, like
Yep.
just way back. So he's making this sword, and it's really nice looking sword. Like anyone can see the nice details he carved into the handle. You can get it if you want and show it.
Yeah.
Like,
Hold on a minute, Michael.
yeah,
I forgot. I was thinking about this earlier.
What's
Like,
up?
Mike, I'm telling you, I don't know any one like my wife
Uh-huh.
who, when I had two sons
oh
that were
yeah,
like probably 10,
young, too young.
10, 10 and 8 or 11 and 8 because they're 3 years apart. And my wife's like, what do you want to get your father for his birthday? And they're like,
Hmm.
we want to get him Conan's dad's sword. And I open this thing.
Uh-huh. Oh,
She
wow.
she does it. It's the
Uh-huh.
same one.
Oh, that is sweet.
And I'm like, I open this. I remember I'm thinking it's got the writing on it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at my wife going like, what the F am I
Hmm.
going to do with this thing?
Yeah.
So it's hanging on the wall. But yes,
You said we were meant to be together.
there you go. There you go. She actually did it. They talked her into it. I have no idea how they did. This thing is heavy, bro.
That's what I was going to ask. How much do you think that weighs?
This, I'm giving
That's
it.
it's I weighed it with myself. It's
Yeah.
3 pounds, but and for as far as swords go, that's like upper limit for a long sword in like the medieval times. However, that is a wall hanger and it's
Yes.
very unbalanced and it feels
Yes.
really top heavy. So if you tried to swing that, it would like your
Uh,
wrists would sprain up. A
yeah.
sword is supposed to be very balanced, like at the guard, you should be able to like tip it and it should like balance out. So it's like really light in the hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but
Crazy.
yeah, we obviously the swords in this movie very well designed, and the fact
Hmm.
that the father's a sword maker in this world where maybe steel or or the skills needed to build a weapon of that type are rare. He's pulled it off. And even when Thorgrim, or no, was it Thorgrim?
I think Thorgrim got him with a hammer, no?
No. The Rexor hands Thulsa Doom the sword, and
Oh
Thulsa
yeah.
Doom for a second he like looks at it, he's like, there's no words, but he's like turning it around. He's like holy moly, like this
Mhm.
is some real weaponry right here. This is not some hot out cheap design, because a lot of the swords in this movie look very plain,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden there's this excellent crafted deer crossguard, elk crossguard with the hooves as the pommel, and it's like polished up, and it's like beautiful, and he's like, oh my god. And then he goes ahead and kills the wife. But it's just interesting to me that that's Conan's father. He's this craftsman warrior
Mhm.
who makes his own weapons and is trying to, and is really, his philosophy is that this is, you have to trust in your weapons to save you,
Mhm.
because you can't trust people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Michael, how did you like Conan's dad?
Well, I love the actor anyway, because I remember him from he was the Clint's, like, he wasn't, I wouldn't call him the bad guy, but he was the guy that Clint faced off at the end of Any Which Way You Can.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
he was in Red Dawn, and I love his look. He's got this cool look about him that he could just play any kind of tough guy. Um, in terms of the advice he gave young Conan, I thought that advice, if Conan had stuck with it, would have gotten him killed, because he would have stayed away from people. He wouldn't have teamed up with those that he did. It ranks right up there with Talladega Nights, when his dad told him, he said, "If you ain't first, you're last."
Yeah.
Last.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. So I'm like, maybe not the greatest fatherly advice right before they both get offed.
Yeah.
But I loved his character, and we've been talking about the sword at the beginning when they were forging the sword. It reminded me of all the old Marine Corps commercials, because
Yep.
they would always forged in steel.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so those are good memories.
Coming from a Marine, had to
I
bring it
heard.
up. All right. So yeah, guys, this guy, William Smith,
Mhm.
nice job in this small role. He has been in numerous roles in TV and movies. Red Dawn was the one that stood out for me. He is the Russian like colonel who comes in because the Cubans can't catch these kids, right? And they bring him in. He's like, I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
And he does get them. This guy, though, you look him up and read about him, it says other activities. And I'm like, other activities? No one on Wikipedia has this section. He was a
Mhm.
bodybuilder. He held the record at one time for reverse curling his own body weight. He is in the Muscle Beach Venice Hall of Fame. He is a black belt in American Kempo Karate. As an amateur boxer, he was 31-1. He is a multiple time 200-pound world arm wrestling champion. He won the United States Air Force weightlifting championship. He studied Kung Fu Sansu. He
Mhm.
played semi-pro American football in Germany. He
Yeah.
competed also in Germany in amateur alpine skiing. And as recently as 2007, he published his own poetry collection.
Gee,
this is this is a renaissance
that's
man.
amazing.
This guy is like my hero now.
Yeah.
Like he's incredible. Like he's done. I mean, talk about living up to your potential. I think this is a
Mhm.
story where you're like, oh, and he's been an actor. Like, I mean, if you look at the list of TV shows that he was on, it's like
Yeah.
80 shows. It's like
Hmm.
it goes for you won't even finish reading it. So incredible guy for this role. And to know that, like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, Conan's dad's pretty tough. Like he's killing a lot of those guys in the village when they're attacking the village. And then now I read this, I'm like, you're damn right, he's pretty tough. Like he is
Mhm.
tough. So it's a great guy to be Conan's dad and to see that, like, even if you
Yeah.
don't know all that about him. So
Mhm.
just an incredible career that in all sorts of things, hobbies and sports and everything. I mean, it's incredible. I've never heard of anyone who's done that much stuff. So
No, I had no idea he had done all that. I liked him in a few roles that I remember seeing him in, but wow.
yeah, they even quoted like his when they said the arm wrestling thing, his arms, it's like around 19 inches or something. Like I'm I don't measure, but that's probably pretty big, right? So,
Yeah.
so he's just an incredible, well-rounded person, and it just makes me think of, it makes me think of this Alex's brother Nick wrestled in college,
Mhm.
and his coach told me a story. He said one of the thing that bothers these kids the most, sometimes they come in here to college and they're in a sport and they got to do all their classes, do the homework, and do the workouts. And he said some of the kids say, I don't have time. And he
Mhm.
said, let me tell you about a wrestler who just graduated last year. He said, this guy lived on his own. He had a wife. He had a kid. He was doing school full time. He worked full time at Safeway, and he worked part time on campus. And he was at every wrestling practice, at every morning workout, and wrestled in every meet and in every tournament. And he was like, I just give that example to someone who says, hey, I don't have time to do all these things I want to do in my life. And
Mhm.
he's like, you have time, you're just wasting it. So the bottom line
Right.
is, this is the type of guy, William Smith, who's like, he never would have told you, I don't have time for that. He's doing
Mhm.
everything. So I think that's just a great, to me, to read that. I'm like, this is the type of person to model yourself after. Like, this guy has been successful in tons of things.
Mhm.
So just, I know I'm wormholing whatever. So Alex, you're the super fan, man. What is your favorite part or scene of this movie?
It's got to be either the beginning because it's the greatest, it's one of the greatest intros ever to a movie like that. Just right in your face, like slaughter of a whole village, and then or the end, obviously the final battle because it all gets resolved. Like I remember I was watching it in the basement one time with Nick, and it was like the music was building up, the chorus was coming, and Subutai's looking off into the distance with a spear, and Nick just like uttered, "This is the most personal shit ever," and I was like, "Yeah, like this is it. If they don't win now, it's like it's
Yeah.
over." And then, you know, the battle happens, and at the end, the cherry on top for me
Mhm.
is like it's a quiet moment. He picks up his dad's old sword, and it's broken because he broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rexor was wielding it, which is another like slap in the face. Like you killed my father, now you're wielding his sword. And he
Mhm.
like looks at it, and it's just I think it actually is great acting from Arnold to just almost like have this moment of clarity, like, oh my God, um I did it. Like I avenged him almost. I still need to kill Thulsa Doom, but like this is a piece.
Yeah.
And he does his little like the pose he would do when he won
Sure.
battles in the arena. I don't know
Mhm.
what that symbolizes, but I thought it was nice. And he looks at the pyre too, which Valyria was burning.
Yeah.
Also going back to him almost, looking at that and relating it to maybe his god. And he's like, we did it. Like I did it by myself. It's done now. And I'm gonna go finish it.
All
So
right.
I really like that part, especially the very end epilogue of that battle before he goes to kill Crom. That's
All
my
right.
favorite part.
Very good. Very good. Michael, what do you got?
Stephen, I went in a totally different direction. I
Okay.
think those are absolutely excellent scenes. But it's funny because you said that I was probably not going to like something, and it ended up being my favorite scene. It's the orgy scene
Oh
where
yeah.
Thulsa Doom turns into a giant snake and slithers away. That was wild. Uh, Great special effects for the 80s. And I love the way they kept panning back to James Earl Jones. So
Yeah.
so you'd see the snake eyes, then you saw him changing into the snake. Next thing you know, he's slithering away. And I love things like that in the 80s, like what was it, American Werewolf in London?
I was
Yeah.
just thinking about that. I was like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
the
that reminds me.
howling.
With the face like pushing out against the skin a little bit, like
Yes,
it's trying to elongate. That was cool.
absolutely.
All right.
I thought that was fantastic. I could watch that again easily. Yeah.
All right. All right. Wow. That surprises me, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez. So, okay. And for me, Battle of at the Mounds is the
Mhm.
best. Few stood against many. I actually read the quote. I think the actual line is two stood against many, but I always said a few. I thought it was because the wizard was there too, but I think Conan actually said two. But and his prayer to Crom and the whole thing opening to close, that whole battle was awesome. I agree with you, Alex. Honorable mention I'll give to the attack on his village, the start to finish, all the way till when his mom gets beheaded. That's just crazy great cinema. And I love the raid to recover the princess too, which your part's in there, Mike. So I love these big parts. And I love their camouflage in the shadows, and I love how they pulled it off and they just wrecked that place. And I mean, I just thought this movie is full of great big epic battles and fights. I just love it. So but nothing's perfect, Mike. What is your least favorite part or stupidest scene here? I know that there's got to be something here.
Oh, good. So this is the part I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Where it almost seemed like it was going to start becoming a different kind of movie. It got kind of silly. It got kind of campy when Conan is trying to infiltrate Thulsa Doom's mountain of power by blending in with Doom's followers. And then a priest, I guess he was played by Jack Taylor, he stops Conan and notices he isn't behaving like the other pilgrims. So the priest starts talking to Conan in a distinctly suggestive way. He's telling him you shouldn't be afraid to bare yourself and commenting on how big and well grown he is. And the context is Doom's cult philosophy about abandoning inhibition, achieving emptiness. But the scene is very deliberately played with sexual, comedic overtones. I swear to you, this popped in my head as I was watching it. I was almost expecting Conan to stab the guy into a wall and say, "Stick around." Because for me, it completely broke up the character and the dialogue up to that point. It honestly, it wouldn't have been so bad. It wouldn't have been a bad scene in another movie. It did not work for me here. And I thought, okay, up to now, Conan has been this smart, tough, stoic character, and he starts doing just like tongue-in-cheek lines. So that seems silly.
Okay. I got you. I agree. That's pretty bad. My least favorite part, punching the camel. This is all of the animal cruelty. Punching the camel, kicking the dog as they're walking through the market, and kicking the rat across the room when they go down to the big and I guess it's Rexor's tower, where Rexor's the second in charge, and he was running it, the thing with the snake when they broke in. So why are we punching a camel? What is this? Is this every which way but loose? Are we going to that corniness? I think that's ridiculous. I didn't like it. And I'm going to give, this is my dishonorable mention. So I don't like any of the things where they're beating up on animals. And my dishonorable mention is Thulsa Doom turning into the snake. I thought that was like, actually, I'm like, I don't like that. He could have just been the guy. We had to go there. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite thing. So,
Steve, to your point about the number one, about the animals, you actually have a great point there. And I wasn't even thinking about it at the time I was watching the movie. But he's abusing the animals, and he's really acting like Thulsa Doom does. He's just taking advantage and being violent against things that can't hurt him, which is what Thulsa Doom did. He killed his parents because he could. He orphaned him because he could. So
yeah. I mean, having power over other people and just abusing it, right? So
for no reason.
So it's human nature, though. For some, I mean, I guess it happened. I don't know.
Right.
There's. All right, we're getting into philosophy here. So, all right, best one-liners. Alex, what's your best, if there's any one-liners? Sometimes I remember we did Say Anything, and I was like, bro, there's no one-liners in here worth anything. So there's nothing. But what's your best lines here in the movie, man?
All right, so my favorite one-liners is when he's talking to Crom and he says, "To hell with you."
Yeah.
I thought, because it's not really a one-liner, but there's this great video on YouTube of all the funny Arnold quotes, and he says like "to hell with you" in like 4 different movies the same way, and it's edited so funny. And now every time I watch Conan, I just laugh because it doesn't even sound like he says it. When I was a kid, I didn't know what he was saying.
Yeah,
it's like such a thick accent. I was like, wait, what did he say? And Nick's like, "To hell with you," and I'm like, oh, okay. And honorable mention that no one notices, I don't think, and I hope that I'm not looking into this too much, but when they're going through the villages at the beginning, with Subotai, he jokes around. He's like, "Does it always smell like this? How does the wind
Mhm.
ever get in here?" And
Yeah.
I think he's like teasing him about his gods. He's like, "What the heck,
That's
man?
a good
You're
point.
supposed to be the Lord of the Winds, like, and it
Right.
stinks in here. What's going on?" I thought that was funny, and like
Yeah.
no one
Yeah.
ever talks about that.
That
So
was a good catch. Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that is. And then and I guess Subotai could come back and say it can't get through here. That's why, all these
Mhm.
people who live on the earth are so dirty. Maybe. I don't know. He could have tagged him back, but yet no, I got you. Mike, best one-liners? Any
Uh,
good ones?
Yeah, two came to me, and both of them were from Thulsa Doom. Like I said, I loved James Earl Jones' character, and I don't do justice to his voice at all. But it's when he's I don't know why I like this when he says, "Contemplate this on the tree of woe."
I like it. I like it.
I, I love that. I think it's such a sinister line when he says, "Now they will know why they are afraid of the dark."
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I
They'll
thought
drown it.
that was
He says
smooth.
like they'll drown in like pools of blood or something
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, those are good. I've got three here. I like Valeria. Do you want to live forever? I think that just it epitomizes her how she lives her life. She's like, hey, let's jump off this tower, go into that pool. She's just taking chances. She's like, I got one life to live. I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to hold back and be a meek person. I'm going to be domineering. I'm going to go for it. Go for it. So, and her little mantra: "Do you want to live forever?"
Steve, could
Yeah,
I interject one thing right there? Do you
yeah.
know where that quote came from? Because
No.
I picked right up on it. She said it twice
Hmm.
in the movie at the Battle of Bella Wood in World War One in June 1918. Because we're taught this at Paris Island.
Yep. Yep.
Dan Daly was one of the only two Marines to win two Medals of Honor himself, and he's traditionally credited with rallying the Marines for an attack. And he shouted, "Come on, you sons of bitches! Do you want to live forever?" So
There you
that's
go.
and there are two quotes in this movie that I could tell there were other sources they got them from.
All right. All right. Very good. Very good. So I got Conan, of course. Alex said this: "Grant me revenge, and if you do not listen, then to hell with you." Right.
Yeah.
And again, we already mentioned this. Subotai, I love it because he's crying at Valeria's sort of death when she's burning, and Mako or Akiro, he's like, "Why are you crying?" And he was like,
Mhm.
"He is Conan. He is Sumerian. He will not cry." So I cry for him. So I thought that's talking about like, hey, I'm gonna take that burden of his sorrow and carry it for him. That's like when someone's in mourning, he's like, I'm gonna take that. That's like being there at your good buddy's funeral. If someone important to him passes, say, hey, I'm here with you. I'm gonna you can lean on me. So
Yeah.
um very cool, very cool. All right, deep cuts. What haven't we discussed, Mike, that you wanted to bring up?
Well, the villain, and I was not a big Conan fan growing up, even when I was in the comic books. But from what I've read, the villain isn't even from Conan. Robert E. Howard originally created Thulsa Doom for a different comic, a different character, Cull, and not Conan. So the movie is freely mixing Howard concepts rather than treating the stories the way they would probably be treated by fans. So it probably pissed off a lot of hardcore fans of Conan comic books the same way that, people who are really into Star Wars or Harry
Yeah.
Potter, if they're kind of deviating off a traditional path.
Now, is it Cole or is it Kroll?
I
K
don't know it's Cull,
Kroll.
because I know what you're talking about, Krull too.
Kroll was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It was a terrible movie with that he's got like a throwing star like that big, and it has a life of it's terrible.
Mhm.
It's terrible. But
Yeah,
okay.
but the most exciting thing that I read, I got to think that y'all picked up on this when you're looking at things for the movie. As of 2026, Schwarzenegger said King Conan is moving ahead with Christopher McQuarrie, the filmmaker behind the recent Mission Impossible movies. He's attached to write and direct. Schwarzenegger said that the intention is to begin filming in 2027. Conan's supposed to be now that aging ruler that we hear that he's going to turn into, and he spent roughly 40 years as a king before being forced back into conflict. So, if that happens, and you're kind of visualizing it, Do you think if that happens, it's going to be, is it going to suck? Or is it going to be like a Maverick type of
Uh, it,
incredible
it,
sequel?
it's hard to say. I could hope it would be like an incredible sequel like Maverick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's all about that director, I'm thinking, right? So
Yeah.
that's interesting. Interesting. Alex, anything that we haven't discussed that you want to bring up here?
Let me think about this. Like, I just no, I just like how there's a way that this movie's made that a lot of other movies try to copy, and I feel like they all fail so badly.
Mhm.
Like you'll see like Dolph Lundgren and what was it, Masters of the Universe back then or whatever, and it's like I don't know if that movie's any good. I've heard it's not.
No, I don't think
Or
so.
The
also the
beat
second,
fast.
yeah, this or like the second Conan movie, which people say dropped the ball because they try to make it more family friendly, but
Mhm.
being rated R at the same time, so it just is stupid. Or
Yeah.
there's this movie called The Scorpion King with The Rock
Mhm.
that my girlfriend, God bless her, she was like, "Oh, you'll love this. It's just like that other movie you watch," and it's just not even close. Like
Yeah.
it's so silly, goofy, and I feel like movies don't understand what makes a movie like this special. Like the reason I
Mhm.
like this movie is because it takes itself seriously.
Mhm.
Like to
Yeah.
you, at first, it's like watching Star Wars if you've never seen it as a kid. Like
Mhm.
at first, you might watch it and be like, "This is stupid. This what? There's the special effects are old and they suck." Or there's
Mhm.
a Bigfoot with this guy and they're flying a weird looking
Bigfoot, I
spaceship.
like it.
Yeah, and these everyone looks weird. Darth
Yeah.
Vader's mask is so goofy looking, I can't take it seriously, but it
Mhm.
takes itself seriously. So as you watch it, you start to appreciate. You're like, oh my, I see that this is a good story. And it's decorated in a way
Mhm.
that might throw a lot of people off. And people like might watch Conan and be like, oh, this big buff dude Arnold, and he's got a ginormous sword, and it's like yeah, there's that, but also he's not even like that ripped in this movie. He's like, whenever he's shirtless, his abs are not even there. Like he's totally off bodybuilding season. He
Mhm.
resembles more like Thorgrim or Rexor than he did when he was in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And like just the quality to the weapons, like his sword, it's like a bronze hilt with and it's actually proportioned like for a giant human to be a short sword, like a one-handed sword. Because when he takes it from that skeleton, the hand, if you notice, the hand over it is like this big. It's
Mhm.
like a giant figure. And that reaches back, they're digging into the lore of this world where it's like post-Atlantic, the doom of the Atlantic City or whatever the hell they were trying to
Because that is
reference.
that could be some of the people that the his father was talking about.
Yeah, because the sword is called the Atlantean sword. If you look it up on any like retail store, some people make the people that made it for the movies have it licensed to be remade by another company right now. Like that's legit, so you could actually fight with it. However,
Hmm.
it's 8 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yours is three, and that one's pretty hefty, right?
Yeah.
Imagine it being 8 pounds. And so it's just not feasible. But for a giant human, maybe it
Mhm.
would be. So there's just a little bit of detail that I appreciate. And with the design and the hilt, it symbolizes this volcano erupting and the two like piranhas as the cross guard that show it's showing the doom of Atlantis, really.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I just really appreciate a movie that's like, yeah, this is set in a fictional world that it's almost post-apocalyptic in a way.
Mhm.
And watching Lord of the Rings or something that's pretty similar because they go to all these ancient ruins. They're like in the mines of Moria and Lord of the Rings, and it's abandoned. Everyone's dead, but it's still there, and they're just going through it. And I really like stuff like that. And I think Conan takes itself seriously enough. And the director John Milius, who's crazy, literally bringing like loaded revolvers to corporate meetings because they're like, I don't want this guy Arnold. And he just puts a revolver on the desk and he's like, we're gonna have Arnold do this movie. And it's like,
Uh,
yeah, John Milius is nuts. And there's a
mhm.
great scene behind the scenes when Arnold's running with he's got the cape on and he's running up that mountain from the dogs, and he like the dogs pull his cape, and he falls off the rock and
Mhm.
totally like hurts himself. And they're like,
Yeah.
cut, cut. And they go up and he's got this huge gash on his shoulder. And
Mhm.
John Milius reportedly was like, yes, this is it. This is Conan. This is the movie I'm trying to make. And Arnold's probably like, what is happening? This is terrible. Like, so I like that the movie had that going into it. And I feel it when I watch it that it's trying to tell a mature story about philosophy and personal belief with the riddle of steel. I could go into that. I probably will, but if I don't, but yeah, like that's what I loved about this movie. That's my
Mhm.
deep cut.
All right, very good, very good. I just want to say the sequel, Conan the Destroyer, even though it was Michael's favorite movie when he was 12, is terrible. It is in competition in my head for the worst sequel ever made. Just going to
Mhm.
say that.
Yeah.
Um, and I like this movie, Conan the Barbarian with Arnold, the first one. I like it so much that I did not even take time to watch the 2011 remake. And I'm just like, I'm not going to do it because you don't need to, right? It doesn't
I
need to
forgot
be
about
remade.
that.
And this is with is it the guy who plays Aquaman that was Conan in that?
Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't even seen it. Like I won't do it.
Yeah.
That's how much I like this movie and how this movie had an effect on me. I mean, obviously, I'm showing my 6-year-old son the damn thing. So
Exactly.
so
Scarring him for life. So it's
that's
got to be
right. That's
worth it.
right. So definitely one other thing I love, and I want to mention a favorite scene. That was a real martial arts sword master
Mhm.
training. When they said he got training from the Mako's voice from the Far East, and
Mhm.
then I love how that guy slaps him in the face and then kicks the other guy,
Yeah.
like the other guy's sort of laughing. Oh, Conan got hit in the face, and then suddenly he's like, oh. So,
Uh-huh.
and that guy's a real training instructor. I forget his name, but you can look it up
Mhm.
on Wikipedia or something. So, um, okay, all right. Alex was just getting all philosophical, Mike,
I know
and
that was good.
so like, hey, man, Mike and I always say, Alex, if
Mhm.
there's no message or lesson or moral of the story, you shouldn't even be reading a book or watching the movie. What are you just wasting time? And I would beg to differ with Mike that I was just wasting time when I watched 9 to 5. But
Oh my
anyway,
goodness.
so
So
um,
many powerful messages.
yeah. So what is the moral of the story or the lesson or the message you get from this, Alex?
So for me, the big like moral or theme, I guess, going through this movie is the riddle of steel
Mhm.
because it's brought up so many times. You've got two of Conan's most important idols, in a way, idols, explaining it to him in two very different ways. You've got his dad, who says that the sword is the only way, basically, you can trust your weapon, can't trust people, can't trust the gods, and you have to fight it out. But he dies
Yeah,
and he loses his sword. And so that's wrong, clearly, because if that happened, then if you could have trusted your sword would have saved you. And also, it breaks later in the film.
yeah,
It breaks right in half. So it's like, there you go. The other guy couldn't trust it either. And then you've got Thulsa Doom, who says like, flesh, the power of the person, big armies or just people who are willing to lay down, like literally die for you.
Mhm.
That's power, that's strength. He's like, look at the desire in your heart. I gave this to you. And like, he's like contemplate this, he gets crucified. But the true like meaning of the riddle of steel. And Conan does this at the end when he kills Thulsa Doom because he tries to hypnotize him again, and
Mhm.
it doesn't work because the riddle of steel is that your willpower, your personal like grit and belief in yourself is what's gonna like win, not people, not other people, not your flesh, because he disproves that by chopping Thulsa Doom's head off. Like, oh, it's so
Mhm.
powerful, I'm gonna cut your head off now.
Right.
But it's your own will that will be victorious in the end. So that's like the riddle of steel. And I think that's a great message. Like
Mhm.
stop trying to rely on things and just take it. Like, do it yourself, you can. And that also, with Crumb being his god, like, to hell with you, I'll do it myself. And
Yep.
that's
Yep.
why Crumb really liked that and was pleased. He's like, oh, okay,
Okay. And
okay, maybe I'll
and
help
sent
you
the
out.
Larry back. Very good. Very good. All right, Michael, what do you got? Can you
Yeah.
beat that, Michael?
I don't know if I can beat that. Well, the thing I came up with was related, but not in a different way. And it was, since we're talking about steel and weapons and who's doing what, materials and objects in themselves aren't good or bad or weak or strong. It's all about the people who wield them. And I
Okay.
think about the news stories, you'll sometimes see today that, a Chevy Suburban killed four people. It's like, well, the Chevy Suburban was a tool, but it didn't kill the people. The person driving it killed the people.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was the big one for me. The other one that came to mind, especially when I saw like the giant Manson family, is there's nothing more terrifying than large groups of stupid people.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. I love it. I love it. So for me, I'm getting, hey, revenge can be sweet, but
Yeah.
um mainly that's sort of like my someone would take it first take, well, revenge, he got revenge, but I think it's really like for the bad guys and for Thulsa Doom and Rexor and Thorgrim, like if you do bad things to people,
Mhm.
you can't just do that all the time. Like it's going to come back. You're going to pay for it. It's going to, you're going to pay for it. And then
Mhm.
on Conan's part, have resilience and you will persevere. You will persevere. And that's sort of what Alex said. Depend on yourself, have resilience and get through it. And another thing I put this is a friend of mine where I work used this term once in
Mhm.
a discussion. And it's, I know this sounds funny, but bloom where you're planted.
Yeah.
So so a flower is planted somewhere, so Conan's like with his family in his little village. He's trying to learn. He's paying attention to his parents. He's living his life. He's being a good kid.
Mhm.
Suddenly he's a slave, and he's like, okay, I'm going to push this thing hard. I'm going to be there. I'm going to make it through this. And he gets all big and strong, and then suddenly he gets put into the pit to be like a gladiator, and he's fighting. And once he figures that out, I think they should have told him, by the way, hey, by the way, this
Mhm.
guy's going to try to kill you.
Right.
um, because he was just brand new out of like getting, but the bottom line is then he's like, hey, I'm gonna be the best at this. This is what my life is now. I'm gonna be the best. And they got him books and they got him training and he took it. He didn't sit there and complain, well, I'm a slave here. I should try to, he's like, hey, this is my life now. I'm going to get as much out of it as I can. And I think everyone should do that. Then when he was, on the run, he's making friends and he's like, okay, I'm going to be a thief now. This is where the life I'm living. I'm going to steal from the most dangerous people on the block. Right. He
Yeah.
goes in there. I'm going to climb like wherever he gets put. He's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to bloom right here. I'm going to be the best version of myself that I could be. And I think people, instead of blaming, and like it goes right back to what Alex was saying about be dependent on yourself, do it yourself. You can do it. Instead of, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, this happened to me. And now I'm
Mhm.
just here. And I guess it sucks. I have to do it. Right. But
Yeah.
that's not what it is. What it is, hey, I'm here. Be the best you can where you're at. Right.
Mhm.
And then things will
Like,
happen for you, and things did happen for him, right?
yeah.
And he got where he wanted to go. He got his revenge, he got everything, and then he ended up being king, right? So that's for me.
Mhm.
So all right,
Oh, I
hey, got
love that. Yeah.
to take on it now, Alex. If someone, you meet a friend who has not seen it and they're like, hey, you got any good movies for me to watch? Are you going to tell them to watch this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
unless they are totally against fiction or like
Okay.
fictional stuff, especially fantasy stuff, I'd be like it's
Yeah.
good, but you probably won't like it, you know.
Yeah. But someone who likes that stuff, you say you should watch it, right?
Oh yeah. Anyone who's like, "Oh, I watch Game of Thrones." I'm
Mhm.
like, "Okay, everyone did." Like,
it's
if you
it's
go
now it's
watch,
time to step up, right? Now it's
yeah,
time
go
to
watch
step up.
something else.
Watch Conan, right? So,
Yeah.
and not the Destroyer, Michael. So Mike, watch it or trash it. If someone says, hey, should I watch this movie?
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth a watch. Again, except for that middle part, and the middle part didn't last, but I would say maybe 10 minutes
Yeah.
where they took me out of it and then they got back to the story, but it's
Okay.
definitely worth a watch.
Okay. I would say, yeah, definitely. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's definitely an ownable movie. This thing is great. This thing put Arnold on the map, on the globe. When this movie came out after this, everybody knew who the hell he was. And he ended up being one of the biggest action stars in the world. He would say he was, but I know that's that big competition back then. He was having with Sylvester Stallone, um, but definitely watch it. So we're gonna give a rating to remind people. We got 5 tiers here. A terrible movie is a bathroom break. You don't even need to be in a room. A below average movie, no snacks. Maybe you scroll through your phone or fall asleep while the movie's playing. An average movie, sip a Coke while I watch the movie. Better than average, Coke and a popcorn. And a great movie, top tier, Coke, popcorn, and a box of your favorite movie candy. For me, that's a box of Raisinets. Alex, you're the super fan. We're gonna let you give it a rating first. What do you got?
As much as I love this movie,
Hmm.
I think it's a Coke and a popcorn because it does have a few janky 80s moments in it that even for me as a kid and as an adult throw me out. And we never actually went over my least favorite part.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
we didn't?
no,
Oh
I
man.
was like, well,
Are
maybe
you
I was
kidding
like,
me? I'm
Oh
sorry.
my goodness.
no,
We got wormholing. So what's your least favorite part, Alex?
my least favorite part, and it's actually really I like it and appreciate it for what it was at the time. And actually rewatching it, I could totally see what they were trying to do with it. But my least favorite part is the ghosts that are attacking Valyria and Subutai when they're trying to keep Conan on the ground.
Hmm.
Because as if you go frame by frame, they're actually hand painting these demons in, like on like a film screen, probably over
Hmm.
the image. And you can track them. They're like trying to choke her out and they're pulling
Mhm.
her off. And she's like knifing them. And wherever she goes, they like animate one to get stabbed. And I'm like, wow, these guys worked really hard on this and I appreciate it. And probably could use maybe if it were a 90s movie, it would look way better, maybe. But
Hmm.
it just, for me, as a kid, it took me out. And I was like, dang, those special
Okay.
effects, those are the only special effects in the movie that are bad. They're
Yeah.
not bad, but
Okay.
they didn't age very well.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm like, yeah, if I was to show this to people, they'd probably be a little bit like, oh, it's got a little 80s jank to it, but
Mhm.
whatever. It believes in
Yeah.
itself, so that's why I bought it.
You clearly have not seen 9 to 5.
Oh
Where they have
God.
cartoons, just straight up cartoons
Oh,
talking to
it was a
people.
magical movie.
So no, I get you, Alex. I don't have a problem with that because I'm just always thinking, well, it was 82. And when I
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
kid in 82, I
It's
saw that.
forgivable.
I was like, yeah, okay, I get what it is. And it doesn't really bother me. But okay, I got you. Sorry that we forgot you on that. We must have just been wormholing and going back and forth. And the next thing you know, we forgot. That's my bad. So all right. So you're gonna give it a Coke and a popcorn.
Yeah. Objectively, I think it's a coconut popcorn, but personally, I probably would, every now and then have a box of Skittles or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Depends.
Okay.
Or a
Mike,
beer.
there you go. Michael, what do you got?
Yeah. So for me, I'll give it a supersized cherry Coke. It's not quite to the point I'm going to get a popcorn too. It's not quite next level for me, but it's definitely a fun movie. I could watch it again. So I'd definitely say that.
So you're gonna give it a Coke, a
I'm going to
supersized,
give it a supersized Coke.
so C plus.
Large Coke. Nice.
Yeah. And
Oh,
and I might even go to the theater if the sequel ever gets here. So,
okay. 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 So I'm gonna give it a Coke, popcorn, and if someone sitting next to me has some Raisinets and offers me some, I'll
mhm.
take them. So like a B plus plus because it just so much when I first saw it was such a young dude and it just sticks with me and I love it. I love Arnold and I love the action scenes. I wish people would commit to making these action scenes when the person falls down and the blood splatters up and just like let's commit to it. Make it gory, people. So Coke,
Yeah.
popcorn, and if I'm sitting next to you, I'll take some of your Raisinets. So all right, very good, very good. So well, all right. It looks like we got a good rating on that one. I thought I might go higher on the rating, but after watching it again and everything, I had to think about that. So thanks for listening to Gonzo Mike and the VCR, everybody. We want to thank Alex for being on the podcast. We loved having you on. What parting words of wisdom do you have for us, Alex?
Just try and be like Conan, believe in yourself, I guess, and really like you've got the power to do whatever it is want to do. So for me, that's art. I wanted to do art. I got good at it on my own time during college, outside of college, during jobs, outside of jobs. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I like this movie because of that, I
All
think.
right. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. So, people, if you enjoyed it, please follow or subscribe. We appreciate it. We'd love it if you'd share the show with a fellow movie lover, 80s enthusiast, maybe, or hey, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Gonzo Mike and a VCR podcast. If you have a movie you'd like us to watch, if you're a super fan like Alex and want to be a guest or just have a comment, or even want us, this is it. Even if you want to tell us what your favorite or your fantasy weapon of choice would be, Michael, what's your fantasy weapon of choice?
If I had to go for one, it would be Excalibur from the early 80s movie of the same name. I mean, you've got something that was made by Merlin, owned by King Arthur. So I think that's a pretty cool.
Okay. Okay. What's your weapon of choice, Alex?
Honestly, probably just there's a sword in Lord of the Rings that Aragorn uses before
Okay.
he's the king. It's like just his plain ranger sword. I really like that design. It's pretty historically relevant and it looks like cool as well.
All right.
And it's
All
just
right.
a normal blade. There's no magical properties to it or anything. It's just
Okay.
normal steel.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna go with I'd like to be an archer, right? So I don't have to get too close to all the bad guys. I can
Mhm.
try to get them from far away. So people, if you want to do any of those things, shoot us an email at gonzomikevcr at gmail.com. That's GONZOMIKEVCR at gmail.com. I'm checking that once daily for you. Additionally, leave comments on your listening platform. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, etc. We'll respond to those. We've added some polls on Spotify, so let us know your thoughts for our next episode. Right now, because we're in talks with some different people, things are still up in the air. We're not sure who the guest will be or what the movie will be at this point. If all else fails, though, unfortunately, we might have to go with a Mike pick. So,
Unfortunately, oh my God.
any ideas, Mike? What you might think about?
Off the top of my head, I would say probably my favorite childhood movie of the 80s, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ooh, you know
Yeah.
what? That movie, after I saw that when I was a kid, it came out. Uh, next time I was like over at my uncle's house or something, say, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" I said, "Archaeologist,"
Yep.
because I thought archaeologist was not the boring job that it is. I thought it was the like that movie, right? So,
Yeah.
all right, archaeologists are going to hate me. So, well, folks, that's a wrap. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Alex.
Until next time, keep watching movies. Gonzo, Mike, and VCR is produced by Gonzo and Mike. All rights reserved.
Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. Blast to the